Guys, so before the video begins, I just want to encourage you to check the description because if you've noticed, I have all my socials posted down there below my little whatever I have to say here. But yeah, make sure you check all of that out and enjoy the video. Man, I absolutely miss playing this character like so much. Lucien is a character, if you guys have watched me for a long time, I've played him for just about as long as I can remember. I've always had some sort of blaster character at my side, and for a long time the characters I was playing was Lucien and Val. However, more recently, it was more towards like the end of 2019, Lucien got hit with such hard nerfs, and essentially those nerfs made Lucien just like, yes, dare I say it, balanced. Like the legend beforehand, before the nerfs, was just like overwhelmingly good, right? Like Blaster had D-Light recovery killing at such early healths. I don't even remember, but I know like Brawlhaven was essentially like a free win if you were a good Blasters player, because as long as you hit your D-Light into recoveries, you're going to be getting kills so early. And then, not to mention, this meant that the strength on Lucien's Blasters did not matter at all. Like Lucien, at most, he can have 4 strength, and that's usually what I end up running. I don't know with like the new stat meta if taking that minus dex, if it is worth it, because then you're going to have 3 strength. However, you're going to have like, I think, 1 more defense, which is kind of ridiculous. And also, you know, the 4 dex, I don't think you're going to really notice at all. Now, to be fair, yeah, I do still have fun playing Lucien. It's just that, like, it seriously is a question of, there's so many good Blaster characters right now. Why play him unless you're having that fun? And I don't think I am having that much fun with him. Like, I just really had fun with him when he was super broken. And now that, you know, he had the sig nerfs, Blasters got hit, Katars are not even anywhere near as good as what they were. It's like, yeah, if you're really good with Katars and Blasters, like Lucien's still going to be super sick, and I still think his sigs, design-wise alone, can carry him because, you know, they still just in design are fantastic. And like D-Sig on Katars, for example, will just spike like super early. It's really good. I just can't even imagine like what Lucien would be like if they had him like how he used to be in current climate, because everything feels so good aside from Katars. Katars are probably the one exception out of every weapon that feels like insanely good to play. So I wonder if like they kept Lucien at that strength, I wonder if he still would be like a super popular pick, because I don't think, I mean, I might be wrong on this, but I don't think a ton of people were playing Lucien at the moment. I mean, at top level, absolutely. Everyone was taking advantage of the fact that basically his weapons and his sig kit allowed him to circumvent like his stat spread of having lower strength. But now, you know, as I said, that's not the case. And I don't even know if there is like a really good spot to like play Lucien. It's hard to say, because I feel like why play Lucien in certain spots when you could play like a heavy hitter like Barraza, or you could play like a character that has really high mobility on a weapon that's better, like Bo with Diana. It's such a question of why. And also, guys, I can't stand, I literally can't stand, and I even died, I cannot stand the fact that Katars, the D-Light angle has changed and they have not fixed Dare. It just blows my mind, actually. Like, I do not understand what's going on with this weapon whatsoever. Now, I'm no like super hardcore dedicated Katars player, but you know, like I said, I did play Lucien for a time, and I played Asuri actually mostly at a BCX last year. So I have my fair share of experience on Katars, like I'm no stranger. But the weapon is just like, it's in such a weird spot, man. I don't understand changes, what they were trying to really do with them. Katars, obviously, they were just insane like summer of last year, and then they slowly kind of just hit them, and then it just ended up all come crashing down. Especially with like these changes that were supposed to help Katars, at least this most recent change, like with the D-Light angle, it just doesn't make sense. It changes stuff up, it makes it really weird, and I actually think it ruins some opportunities for stringing. I can make a video on that though, of Katars alone, especially if like they don't get buffed anytime soon. And I mean, by the time I would make the video, there's no way that some sort of balance pass is coming out. Also, to answer the question of why I even bothered making a Lucien video today, it was because this weekend is Steel Series, and I was kind of like just, I guess, locking down what characters I was going to be playing. And turns out, yes, that is going to be Sidra and Wu Shang, more than likely. I mean, Sidra is like a stay for sure. Like, I feel like Cannon, too good to ignore. But I tested Lucian, that's what I'm getting at. And he felt good, but I realized it's just a question of why. And to make matters even worse, like, Lucian has insanely good skins. The skins on Lucian are just, they're actually something else. Like, I like 99% of the skins. I'm trying to think of one I don't like. I don't really like the synthwave one. I mean, even then, I still think it's like good. I think it's just more of like me not liking it, you know, like preference stuff. But other than that, I mean, this one, what is this called? Like Bullet Diver. I think Bullet Diver looks really good, especially in other colors. I like base Lucian as a whole. They even reworked him a while. And that brings me into another point. Why don't they just start reworking like other legends? They really, really need to do that. And I'm not even talking just about stats. I'm talking about just like design as well. Like some legends, I don't know, they just kind of look like cheeks. I wish they would like go back and like redo, who would be a good one? I feel like Taros. I mean, to be fair, Taros is just a bull, but like they did with Zol, they made Zol all big and buff. Like Zol's a newer character, and they reworked that guy before they ended up reworking like Taros and giving him that sword treatment, or giving like Queen Nai some like better looking visuals. I don't know. I don't even think it's like necessarily how the legend looks. It's more like the Sig effects. Like some of the Sig effects do look kind of bland, and they could probably use some like touch-ups and stuff compared to what they have now, because the Sigs they have now are just, they're so good. They're like really, 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 really good. And I don't know, they have 50 legends. Like, I don't see why they don't just add one. Oh, a little loop. Man, even right now, like when I'm playing Lucian, it just makes me miss playing this character so much. Like this character combined with me having Val and then Lucian on the side, I felt like that covered so many bases, and I would kill to go back to having Lucian as like my go-to pocket pick, instead of just like me deciding, oh, do I play XYZ character? Because life was simple back then for me. Now it's like I don't know who I'm gonna play each week. Like I felt like I had my two characters, and I'm just not, you know, I'm not willing to play Jiro. I did talk about him though in my last video, and it's like, man, I don't even know who to play. That kind of leads into though the question of like, okay, what comps or like what characters am I kind of waiting for then? Like I can play so many different characters. I'm confident in my ability to do so, but there's a couple comps that like I'm really, really just waiting on seeing. And I would have to say that Blaster's Orb is probably my number one. I actually don't know. It goes between Blaster's Orb and Hammer Scythe, because it would give me a reason to play a Blaster's character again, which I would 100% be down to do. And then the other character, the Hammer Scythe, would give me a reason to learn Hammer. And, you know, Hammer, I think, is easily my worst weapon. So I would be so down to learn Hammer if it had, like, Scythe with it. I really like Scythe, but, you know, Scythe's big weakness is the fact that it has a little trouble killing. And kind of lying when I say a little, I mean, unless you're gimping off stage, it definitely feels, like, really, really rough sometimes, especially like if you're just playing in neutral versus something like Hammer that has like such easy guaranteed options. Maybe I'm going a little too far with like the easy part, but you know, you get me. Maybe I'm not completely wrong in that statement. Hammer is very, very good at like building damage on stage, and also Hammer's just good all around. What am I even saying? Yeah, that weapon's something else. We'll see though. I mean, we kind of know that the next legend anyways is gonna be a greatsword one, because I'd be very, very surprised if they were to end up releasing a non-greatsword legend after they only have one greatsword legend out, especially if greatsword is legal by like BCX. It would make sense if by BCX they only have Jaeon as the option. So I'm curious to see as to like what the next greatsword character is. I mean, it's gotta be like, what do you guys think? I feel like it's gonna be, they have sword greatsword obviously, maybe like Blaster's greatsword, but then that would stink because then Blaster's Orb would kind of be thrown out the window, probably, at least for a time being. I don't know though. This guy took forever to kill. I've gotten this guy literally in every single game for the past like 3-4 games, and I'm sure you guys are waiting for me to comment on that, because yes, I noticed. I was just like, oh, eventually, you know, there's got to be someone else in the queue. But it's crazy because every time I feel like I've gotten this guy, he's been getting better and better, and it's made it harder and harder for me to talk about whatever I'm trying to talk about. Okay, and maybe I lied. That was actually a horrific play. That was so bad, dude. How do you get hit by that? In current game by Lucian. Such low force blasters. Actually blowing my mind. I have to retract my statement of Lenibi 67. Is Lenibi an actual word? That has to not be a word. I mean, his name also has 2 numbers in it, which, not saying anything about numbers, but like that just makes me think that, oh, it's like some made up thing. But who knows? I mean, I have like Brawlhalla fan 58 in my Twitch chat sometimes at twitch.tv/Phazon. So if you want to be Brawlhalla fan 59, make sure you come watch the streams, because yeah, I don't know, names with numbers are just very, very weird to me. It's like, well, I get you want like a certain name, but you can't, because you need to put numbers in it to make it so you have that name. And so you usually choose like a birthday or something like that and you throw it in. But for me personally, I would rather come up with like a different name entirely, like one I like that I don't have to fight for, with like adding 3934XX sniper 360 headshot, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that I don't really like doing. And of course, at one point, you know, I did have a name with numbers. That's probably why I'm going off on it as hard as I am. But now I've luckily been able to claim like Phazon. That's really nice, actually, that I have that name like across the board. Oh man, where am I even going with that? That was kind of like empty head, no thoughts type of discussion. But yeah, kind of wrapping this video up in the final game. And in conclusion, really, like, Lucian, I think he's so cool, and they're gonna buff Katars probably. And unless Katars become such an overbearing weapon, like, you know, there's no other reason to not play them. I don't know if that'd be enough to like make me play Lucian, for example, but I really enjoy playing him, and I'm sure at some point I'll get that chance again, but it might be a bit. We'll see though. All right, guys, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.